Tonight, each of us in the room are witnesses to God's faithfulness in our lives. Tonight, we are celebrating the movement of God here at The Social over the last 5 years.
We're celebrating 5 years of God miraculously bringing life change to young adults all over Northwest Arkansas. 5 years of young adults making their faith public in the waters of baptism. 5 years of God bringing young adults to Northwest Arkansas from all over the world.
5 years of young adults finding community and building strong relationships. 5 years of young adults growing in their walk with Jesus through small groups. 5 years of equipping servant-hearted leaders to faithfully build this ministry.
5 years of living out our church's mission of reaching Northwest Arkansas, America, and the world for Jesus Christ. But most of all tonight, we are celebrating who Jesus is and who we are.
The Social is an authentic community where everyone is welcome and wanted. We are celebrating 5 years of being a family that has fun together.
So to celebrate our 5th year in style, we are going to do just that, have fun together.
Because it's who we are and it's what we do. We grow together, we bear each other's burdens, we celebrate together, and we laugh together.
So tonight, we're going to laugh and celebrate all that God has done in and through The Social for half a decade.
So please sit back, relax, have fun, and welcome the host of tonight's celebration to the stage.
There we are. Come on, Social, how are we doing tonight?
Here we are.
Woo! Hey, come on. This is Social Celebration, celebrating 5 years of being a ministry. Come on, that is crazy. Fun fact for y'all, this is actually 2 years ago to this Tuesday, the first time I visited Northwest Arkansas, specifically to The Social. That's true. And I moved here. So come on, y'all did pretty good. So hey, this is our team. We're here tonight. So it looks a little different. We don't have one sermon, back-to-back panels. That's a little different. So come on, how are y'all doing? We'll introduce ourselves really quick for those of you that don't know us. So my name is Ben Sokin. I'm on staff here at Pinnacle Hills.
Jeremy on staff at Pinnacle Hills here.
Izzy also on staff here at Pinnacle Hills.
Luke Humphrey, not at Pinnacle Hills, at Fayetteville. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, Fayetteville.
Got some
Woo
fans,
pig.
Luke. Zach at Springdale campus.
Go Chickens.
Pinnacle.
Hey, should we
We're
redo it for
ashamed.
Pinnacle? I'm feeling a little
Lock
hurt.
it in. Come on.
I'm just kidding. It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay.
well,
I'm
we
not
have
surprised.
we have a fun night planned, and it's going to look a little different, so just roll with us. You know, we like to celebrate in style. But before we even get into that, I would love to, I know there's even some new people here tonight that I saw, and I was like, man, I don't recognize you. We're just going to talk about a little bit, like, what we're about here at The Social, what's been happening for the last 5 years, like, if you've been here for the last couple of weeks, what we're about. So, yeah, take it away, guys. What are we about? Like, who are we? If to a new person in the room, what are we about?
Okay, well, if you're thinking about like, wow, I wonder what they're called, The Social, because we love to be social, we love community, and truly, like, at the bare minimum, that is what you're gonna get. Whenever we were kind of deciding on our name, The Social, we were kind of going too crazy with it. We were going out there with some of our name ideas.
We were rebranding for a long time, and I'm telling you, we went through hundreds of names. Do y'all remember some of the
many.
worst ones?
Some
Yeah,
of-
Went through a lot of
the
bad
best
before it got
ones.
good.
Some of the best
The
bad ones.
Fold.
We were almost the
And
fold.
then,
But then
Could
you
you
heard
my
imagine?
wife was like, that reminds me of Skin Fold, and so that was
Like, no, cut it.
Get her out of here.
We were almost the backyard, which, like, why?
No, we weren't.
Why
Come
were
on.
we
I
almost
like
the
the
backyard?
yard.
No,
Yeah.
we
I
were
did like
almost the vessel. The vessel, we ran with that one for a minute. Could you imagine? I feel like,
broken pottery.
yeah.
I don't even know if you guys,
we-
Jeremy would send me some of the ideas.
Because me and
And
Ben
I
have
would be
been
like-
friends for a long time, and yeah,
This is before I even knew I was going to move here. I was like,
We-
dude, I don't even know if I would go to that. The vessel. I
We
feel
went,
like I'm a
we went a
blood
little
cell.
far with some of those ideas, but we landed on The Social because we just thought, like, and we knew at the core of what every young adult is looking for, just bare minimum, especially like if you're from out of town, if you like moved here from, I don't know, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, wherever, you know, if you moved here from all those places and you're just like, how does somebody make friends again, you know? So we knew that at the bare minimum, people were looking for community. You were looking for a place to be social, to make friends. And so at the bare minimum, that is what we want to offer you. So if it's your first time here, or maybe it's your 100th time here, and you know that this is the place for the people and for friends, we wanted to be able to offer that. But then more than that, we want to be able to offer an opportunity to know Jesus Christ. That is the core of who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's this saying, and if you were even at the merch shop and you saw some of the merch lab. Sorry.
Shout out the
There we
merch
go,
lab.
Lab sounds
We're
way
not
cooler.
sure. We're not sure.
Shameless
Okay.
plug.
There's stickers out there that say you're only new once, or people need each other. And part of the heartbeat, I think Izzy just nailed it on the head of as far as like this is a fun environment of young adults from all over the area that come together. But if it's just that, then you can go find that elsewhere. But at the core of it, we're rooted in Jesus, and that's the center of all of this. That's why we do what we do. But in that, we say you're only new once at the social. And the thing about that is that doesn't just happen automatically. Like if we're being fully transparent, sometimes we don't always do that. Sometimes you're new a couple times. And so that idea is the culture of all of us together living out on mission, not only in the lobby on a Tuesday night, but as we go out to our workplaces and homes and apartments, we are cultivating this culture of, we say swoop here. Anyone want to define what swoop is for those of us that
You
may
made
not
it
know
up,
what that
didn't
is?
you?
Yeah, well, I mean, kinda. But it really is spurred from when we first started, we had nobody, like we had 6 people. And what we would do is just find people coming into church or maybe out on the square, and we'd be running up to them being like, hey, who are you? Come join us. We're going to eat here in a
You
minute.
look young. You look like a young
Swoop
adult.
on in. I think we even tried to come up with like, after swoop was the thing, it was like strategically winning over other people, like we tried to come up
I
with
like
something
it.
after
That's
the
a good one.
fact.
That's a good one.
Just to try to be cool. But really it's like an intentional welcoming, like a very open-hearted, like, hey, like we're doing half circles, not circles. Like we want to invite you into this place, even if you're new, welcome to the family. Like we want you to be new one time. And then your second week here, we want you to be family. Like, welcome to this thing. And I just think about, I got a little emo this past week. We moved into some new offices, and as we did that, I found these prayer cards. So 5 years ago in a little bit, we did a prayer gathering before we launched the ministry. And we had everybody who was there, like all like 20-something people, do a little prayer card. And I was just flipping through them just this past week, and it was like, wow, like God has done so much. So one of the things that just kept coming up on a lot of those cards and prayers was Ephesians 3:20, that he's able to do far more than we can imagine and far more than we can think and far more than we can even ask. I mean, like that's a big God, but if you look around and if you've been here for a while, you know that that's the kind of God who's been a part of this ministry. And so just, it's a special, special place.
Yeah. And so we talked a little bit about like you're only new once, but the reality is you are new once, right? And so
At least
I remember my first time, Izzy was like, here, move that, do this. I was like, put to work. I was like, I'm here to
Hey,
visit.
you're only new
What are
once.
we
made
You're
doing?
fun
only new
of,
for 1 minute.
Ben,
But we do realize there is like a reality about being new. And so we thought we would put ourselves into the shoes of being a first-time guest. And we made a little bit of video for y'all. So turn your attention to the screens.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm going to walk into the huddle because I'm a little bit early.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm sitting in my car for a long time. I'm so nervous about going in.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I have to have so many awkward small talk conversations with everybody that I pass. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good.
It's my first time at the social. Of course, I feel smothered by everybody.
It's not smothered, you're being swooped on, so that's just you being welcomed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel welcomed.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm walking to the bathroom first because I don't know where else to go.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm going to get coffee so that I have something to hold in my hand whenever I feel awkward.
This is my first time at the social. Of course during the meet and greet I'm not going to go anywhere.
It's my first night at the social. Of course I've been asked my name, where I work, and where I'm from 1,000 times tonight.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm trying to hide so no one talks to me.
It's my first time at the social. Of course I'm here to find a godly spouse.
No. You're here to grow in your walk with the Lord.
Oh, I'm here for a relationship with the Lord.
Come on.
Oh, you thought the cringe stopped with that video? Just you wait.
It's coming.
We're just starting.
There's a few pointers things I want to draw out of that video. Number one, Jacob in the car looked like I was holding him at gunpoint doing that. Let's just be really honest in the room tonight. But
Hopefully
we
you
know, like,
actually
so many of
wanted
you
to.
laughed at many of those things because you've been there. And so even in Rise, our thing that we have for leaders coming in the ministry, we talk about what was your first experience like, and there's a lot of those, many of those. There's many people who it takes them like 3 times in the parking lot before walking into these doors, right? And so, like, as a first-time guest, like, what can we do and what can you do if you're a first-time guest? Like, jump into this place. Any thoughts here?
I remember my first time on staff 2-3 years ago now at the Springdale campus, and I got swooped on like 12 times before the service ever started. I mean, I was a brand new face from Houston, and even on staff, like, it was just so immersed in the culture of if you see someone you don't know, like, let them feel welcomed. Let them feel like you felt the first time that you got loved on and that you got seen and that you get just drawn into the community. And even on staff, like, I got exactly what this ministry stands for. And so it's really just putting yourself in other people's shoes and seeing people and say, you know what, it may be awkward, but rather it be awkward than they not feel loved on. It's definitely worth stepping out of the comfort zone and just going up to someone and saying, hey, that's half the battle right there too.
Yeah, when you get names down and faces, and then those stick, and you see each other again, maybe it's not even on a Tuesday night, but you see each other on a Sunday or just out in the community, like, there's something that where you go from a stranger to a neighbor. Like, you're like, hey, I know your name. I know we kind of had that awkward small talk on Tuesday, but I remember these things. You work at this place, or you go to that place to work out, whatever it may be. And little by little by little, week after week after week, you don't almost always realize it, but God's doing something amidst those relationships. And so if you are new tonight, or maybe you've been here for months and that's still you.
It happens.
I will be honest, I love holding things in my hand because it's an awkward moment. You're like, I want to hold something. I get that. So maybe you're like still in that boat. Well, we just encourage you, hey, take that step. And maybe it's not the 2-minute turnaround of meeting and meet and greet, but maybe out in the lobby tonight, you just take that step and say, hey, what's your name? I've seen you around, and just let people know who you are and get to know people's names.
Yeah, and if it is your first night tonight or recently, and you're like, I already filled out my first-time guest bingo card, like I did every single one of those things, like, don't worry, because it's funny because we've all been there. Everyone has been there,
100%.
so don't even feel like, oh my gosh, I did that. We've all done it. Don't worry. That's why we made a video about it, because we know. Like, honestly, we should probably put some swoopers in the bathroom, because I know that's where y'all are going.
No, we're not doing that.
Sounds like a bad idea.
No, we are not putting swoopers.
We good.
That was
But that being said, when you are a first-time guest, like one of the things that I've seen from people that have come in nervously and, you know, looking forward to, okay, I want to be a part of this because I see what God is doing here, but I'm so nervous just getting through the door. That's the hardest part. You getting through the door, and truly what makes the difference is our team. Like, honestly, it's not just us. Odds are that one of us 5 was not the first person that you met when you came here. We have a great team of what we call the dream team that serves here because they want to love and know you. They want to love and know each other. They want to make this place what it is, a social, authentic community. And so when you come in for the first time, go all in. Like, go all in, and you will not believe what God can do when you just go all in.
Yeah. And, you know, culture is a funny thing because you kind of forget where things started too. But we have the Let's Be Friends card, and some people are like, the LBF card, did I sign that? And did I fill that out? It's like, oh, it's our Let's Be Friends card because we want to be friends, right? So that's a great next step. If you haven't filled that out, do that at the tent. And then, you know, Rise and starting to serve is just such a great next step to just kind of be a part of this ministry. And here's what I want to do. Hey, if you are on our dream team, will you stand up, and we're going to all just give a shout to you guys. So everybody, if you're on the dream team, y'all give it up. Small group leaders. A lot of different things in the room. Y'all sit down. But we just want to do this. Here at The Social, we love you guys, and as a team, we appreciate you so much that we just want to say thank you. We just want to say thank you. So from the bottom of our hearts, roll this video.
Coke Zero, sponsor us. Man, our dream team is just so good. They're just so worth celebrating. I need to write some thank you cards, don't I? Yeah, that's a great idea, Ben. Okay, first and foremost, thank you, entry team, for taking care of our signs so well. The social team. Someone will take care of that. Thank you, Next Steps team, for asking our guests 1 million questions while filling out a Let's Be Friends card. Love the social team. I just got a tongue cut. I really just sliced my tongue open. Sponsor us. Thank you, Sam Ellenwood, for laughing loudly during our sermons and giving us confidence. Love the social. Okay. Thank you, 9 Square, for always bringing out our most aggressive side and our best flirting at social late nights. Love the social. Thank you, media team, for blinding me with your revolving lights while singing my favorite songs at the social. Love the social. Thank you, creative team, for always catching me crying while in moments of deep worship. Love the social team. Thank you, prayer team, for being the people in the back. That's all you are to us. I'm on that team. Cut that. Almost done. Thank you, Cross Theological Seminary, for this mug. And last but not least, thank you, Jonathan Hobbs, aka Mr. Muscles, for always working out so hard to carry the table off stage. Love the social team. All that to say, we absolutely love the Dream Team. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
That guy's
First
built
off-
for TV, huh?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Man, first off, I apologize if Ben Stoken has ever wrote you a thank you note. Man, wow. Reagan, please don't let him write a single thank you note after y'all's wedding for any of your gifts.
A lot of scribble.
Also, don't let me stuff the envelopes. That's harder than it looks. That's some pressure on camera.
Oh, man. Well, hey, man, Dream Team, we really are so thankful for you. And we truly mean that from the bottom of our hearts, because we couldn't do and have seen what God has done here without you just being in. And so those of you who aren't on our Dream Team of being served, just know you have an incredible team that's just here every week serving for the Lord. And it's also so incredible to see people's life change in here, but not only experiencing a life-changing moment, but then just go deeper in their walk with the Lord through serving on the Dream Team. I even think of coming on 2 years ago in April, a young adult woman named Shannon Janicki, just right up there, got baptized in a social service, and now she leads our community team. So all of the late nights that you see, her and the community team help put on. And there's so many different teams, small group leaders, different people that just help this ministry move with the Lord and with the Spirit, and we're just so thankful for the way that you guys have served. But what about you guys? How are y'all thankful just for how you've seen our Dream Team move and serve people in this place?
I would say just off the bat, I think, so if you don't know, like from our previous video, every Tuesday night at 6:30, we kind of meet for a huddle with all of our Dream Team. And that's part of just like the commitment that they've made to being a part of what God is doing within this ministry. And so what I love about those moments in particular is, one, just the friends you make by being on the Dream Team and getting to serve together for a greater purpose. But two, just the commitment that everyone has to be able to because we were all there with being a first-time guest, but then to be able to create an environment for people that is welcoming and loving. I think about even something so small, or maybe not small, but seems like so behind the scenes, is our creative team. We kind of gave you guys a little shout out in there, but our creative team does so much behind the scenes. Obviously, they're taking photos, they're doing graphics on social media, something so small, but it's been so cool to see over the last few months how many young adults have come to the social for the first time because they saw it on Instagram and it looked cool. Not to say that but social media is everything, but something so small to be so faithful in, which honestly takes a lot of work, has brought so many people in and close because they saw Instagram. I met someone during the meet and greet one week, and I was like, hey, who invited you? And he said, no one. I saw it on Instagram, so Instagram invited me. And that was just really special because our creative dream team, they work so hard to be able to promote what God is doing here, not for our name, but for the name of the Lord, to draw people into that.
Yeah, and I think as a young adult, you know this, right? There's so many things trying to grab your attention. And so one thing I'm just so appreciative about is just, the call that we have, obviously, to be pouring into young adults, but so many of you are like, hey, I want to be about that too. Like my coworkers that I'm praying for, I want to be a part of something that's helping reach them. Like my neighbors, my people in my apartment building, like I want to be on mission together and like reaching people. And then when they walk into this big building and they're like staring up at the ceiling and they're trying to sprint to the bathroom, let me just go and enter into their life to meet them right where they are, because maybe this is their first time in a church, or maybe this is their first time back in a church in a long time, or maybe they're going through the hardest thing they've ever walked into, and I need to meet them right there. And so, like, just being a part of serving the kingdom together is just a special thing.
Yeah, and it's so fun from maybe our seats that get to watch y'all take these steps, going through Rise, going on to the Dream Team, and getting to see y'all step into and living out your spiritual gifts. Yeah. Like all of us as believers are gifted by God with spiritual gifts that are meant to build up others and build up the church and build up all those that we encounter in love. And so when y'all are operating and utilizing those spiritual gifts, it is one of the coolest things to watch. One, we can all attest of like when God has began to reveal that in our hearts, but for y'all, it is amazing. And it genuinely, just echoing what Zach said, like this doesn't happen without you. And as you are faithful to serve, faithful to lean into what God has gifted you with, it changes everything. And it is so fun and it's so fulfilling to get to do what God's called us to do and what he's equipped us to do. And so don't ever for a moment think that what your role is, because it's not that role, or maybe it's not the most public role, it matters so much.
Yeah. I'll say one thing too. I know the prayer team caught a stray in that video, tough. But it's so cool. The prayer team, this team that I joined when I got here, like they pray over every single seat in this auditorium. They pray for every preacher, for every element of the service, every single week. And just to have a ministry, I truly believe like so much of the fruit that we're seeing is answered prayer from that team. So just to echo everything that they said, and then to add in like our dream team is incredibly prayerful, and that starts in huddle, and then for the prayer team continues all throughout up until the service. And so it's just really cool. I heard it somewhere once, like every great movement of God starts with a group of people praying. And I believe that to be true here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're so thankful for you, and we're thankful for what God's going to do in year 6 through that. And let me speak to those of you who aren't on the dream team yet. We believe that you have a place in this church to serve and to love people. That God has uniquely, as Luke was saying, gifted you and redeemed you in a way that can be purposeful here and you can find fullness in. And if that is something that God is speaking to you about, here soon on a Tuesday night, we have a 3-week training for our dream team called Rise. And I would just encourage you, step into that. And like so many we've seen in the past, there's fullness on the other side of it. There's ways God moves in you through that. There's maybe even something that God has for you on the other side, whether that may be a call to ministry or serving alongside your spouse. I'm just going to call it out there, all right? It may be the right reason, but it can be a result. But it is an incredible thing to see people step into a calling God has in their life to serve other people, because that's what it's about in following Jesus, because he came to serve, not be served, right? So let this place forever be a part of that. And it's been so cool to see our team unified around that and serve in harmony, but it's also been incredible to see the unity inside of small groups here as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just Psalm 133, that how sweet it is when brothers and sisters dwell in unity together. And that has just been such a testament inside of small groups. So here's a short video just detailing some of the things that we love about small groups.
Christian, what do you love about being in a small group?
Man, I've gotten so close with some of the guys in my small group this semester. Like, we are tight.
My favorite part is that when I get off track, those guys point me back to Jesus.
Hey, Jonathan, just take a left, then you're gonna go straight, you're gonna merge on the highway, and you'll be there.
I love my small group. They call me out, especially when I need some accountability.
Let's go, touchdown!
Dude, that's not even a catch. What the?
Do not say it!
I love that my friends in my small group really help me grow in my walk with the Lord.
Come on, Ashlyn, you can do it! 1 minute at a time. You got it, you got it!
I know that whenever life knocks me down, my small group is gonna know how to pick me back up.
Yikes. Wow. That, it's this funny thing. Small groups, man, they're special. But
It can get awkward, right?
Yep. Honestly, the couch one, we're tight. That just made me uncomfortable. I don't know. But yeah, hey, so maybe if you're in a small group, then you're resonating right now with some of that as just, there's awkward moments. Small group is small group. It can happen. But in another way, though, let's think about, okay, well, why do we do small groups? Like, we're talking about the social, we're talking about you only knew once and all this thing about relationship, and yet there's something about what this room can't do. You see, you might know the people sitting next to you or maybe close to you, but you don't know everyone to a level of deep relationship. And they don't know you. And so what small groups do is they help that happen. They put you into a group with like-minded believers, brothers in Christ or sisters in Christ, to do life together. And there's something about small groups where small groups have genuinely changed my life from as a freshman in college and sophomore year in college, jumping into a small group and getting to see people live their lives out for the Lord, and then fast forward all the way to today and getting to watch y'all do that in small groups and in my own small group. And it's so amazing what happens when, let's just be honest, that first week, maybe even the second week is just tough. There's someone in this room, I won't out them, but they went to their group and they were like, this is the worst. Nobody talked to me. These people are mean. They don't like me. And thankfully, she gave it another chance and she went back, and now they're her best friends. And there's just something about when we take a step of faith into a group. It's never like all bells and whistles when you jump into a small group. Like it's awkward. People, you don't know those people. Anyways, when you get to know them, something changes. And you truly begin to become, ultimately, by the power of the Lord, family. The point where you would go to battle with these people. Like, on your hardest day, they're your first phone call. The group me is the place you're going to for prayer. They're the people that you want to do life with. They're not just church friends. They're not just people you see 1 hour a week. These are people that you do life with. And so, what else y'all got to say about those?
I would say, a small group is a place where, like Tuesday nights, for the most part, is incredibly passive. Meaning all of you are listening to us, talk about this and look like fools in videos. And but small group is where you get to get active in your faith. It's where you're not just hearing the word of God preached, or you're not just like hearing someone sing a song over you that you might choose to join in with, but you get to wrestle with the Lord. You get to like wrestle with the word and figure out like, man, why do I believe what I believe? And like you get to be challenged by not only the word, but other believers that will hold you accountable, that will pick you up, that will, help get you where you need to be in your walk. And so I know for me in my life, like small groups has been the most formidable part of my walk with Christ, because it's been a place where other godly believers can just push me to look more like him.
Yeah, and I think in that too, of finding people around you that can help form you into who Jesus is. I mean, a big part of small groups is becoming like Jesus, but it's also a place of deep belonging with people with like faith, but that doesn't mean like you have everything alike. I think one of the most beautiful things about small group that we even see in this place is there's people in small groups that don't have a lot of like common characteristics between you. There was even a small group a few years ago that had 6 different nationalities inside of it. Like, what a beautiful picture of heaven inside of that, just dwelling in unity together. There's Spanish-speaking small groups that are inside of the social. There's small groups from North Rogers, Bentonville, all the way down past Fayetteville. Like, every region is just filled with just a beautiful belonging of becoming like Jesus.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I would say, as an encouragement and a challenge to those of you in small group and those that you need to be in a small group, is that community, authentic community, is not just meant for you to receive from, but it's also meant for you to give to. That means show up. Show up for the people in your small group. Show up for your small group leaders. Like, small group leaders, sometimes they carry a lot because they want to be there for everybody. They're not your personal therapist or counselor, but they want to love you and be there for you. But show up for them back. Show up for the people in your small group. Give to them in your time and your energy and your encouragement. Pour out to them as well, and then just see how God transforms you in the midst of all of that.
That's good. There's, with small groups, and we just talked about Dream Team, there's something that, like, big picture stuff of, like, what Jesus has established the church for and what our membership within the local church looks like, and serving and using the gifts that God's given us and being in godly biblical community. Those are huge components of what it looks like to be active in our faith in the midst of a local church. But there's another part. There's a part that we just got to do, and that's worshiping really in all of our lives, but also as a corporate gathering, something like what happens on Tuesday nights, what especially happens on Sunday mornings, is worship. And man, even just tonight, my goodness, we are blessed with an incredible worship band. Can we just give it up for them? They are amazing. Yeah, it is something that we should never take for granted, that we are just blessed by just men and women just like all of us that are just gifted in the things of music and instruments and singing and all these things that you do not want me up here during that moment. That's certain. You'll see that in a second. Anyways, with worship, it is, man, we have the songs that we sing, there's so much to it. And so we have a little video. So just lean into this and we'll talk about it after.
Where are we going? Thai food?
Ooh, here's my everyday playlist.
Seat warmers? That's what I like.
I'm gonna make you call.
What are we starting with?
I really only listen to worship music.
Really holy.
It's,
Yeah.
No, you didn't say what your favorite was.
That's just, I witnessed it.
Okay.
Wait, curve. Like, all right.
I've witnessed it.
Hey, should we see this at Social Celebration?
Yes.
1000%.
I love this song.
Yeah, this has been a favorite from this year. I don't hear the voices. This is a tough song to sing. Oh my goodness.
That's a classic, like, social ending song.
It really
Crash
is.
out into social, come on.
There we go. Another end of the night banger is always our good old Phil Wickham.
Phil, welcome to the social.
People always know the right moment to clap.
They sure do.
Always.
Not me.
Such boundless grace.
You don't clap here.
Don't clap here.
I clap here.
Hey, this is what.
Oh, here we go. Thai place is far away. All right.
Love clapping.
Izzy loves
Take you at your word. What's with all these roundabouts?
my feet just start popping. Oh man, this is a new one. Oh my gosh! Oh. Chill, bro, chill. Did you preach a sermon? Golly, man. I just got 5 stars. Wow.
I always look forward to those Tuesday morning set list posts.
Oh yeah.
So I can study for my lyrics, for my songs.
I can't wait till we get to this time place. It's.
Go, everyone's. Oh, he's just somewhere to see where everyone went.
How do you pick which octave you want to hit?
Yeah, it's. Big two is what we got.
Oh. This song, y'all remember The Retreat? This was like our anthem.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Jesus Take the Wheel.
Time after time, I trust in God.
What's up, kiddos? Who turned the seat warmers on?
I did. They feel so good.
They're like just the voices. They're like, no. Hungry. Blood. This song's been an anthem for us.
It really has.
I know it was the blood.
We need to get some strings at the social.
Hallelujah. Only been the blood.
Bridget Retreat Night 2.
Holy Christ.
Get my head up the window. Songs just straight about the gospel are just so powerful. Yeah. Well, I'm not even hungry.
I'm full.
Hey, Jesus is the bread of life.
Full of that
Spirit.
Yeah. Be fulfilled.
On stage for the worship portion of the night. Thank you to our lovely band.
Yes.
But we have thoroughly just enjoyed and appreciated the moments of worship through song that our team has led us through. Like just all the years in which we've done, we've ended the year with special worship nights. Those have been so powerful. And you would think it's like, oh, it's just a worship night. It's just music all night long. But we've seen God do some amazing things. We've seen people get saved on those nights. This past November, seeing people be baptized on those nights of worship. And so many of those songs are just like for me are like tied to just moments here together of just sweet surrender to the Lord. And I would say if we knew, we would add it to the video, but just what we experienced tonight and getting to hear. Marco, thank you so much for leading us in a portion of that song in Spanish. That was the sweetest thing. Like let us look back to those moments of worship and say glory to God. Not because he's an amazing singer, which he is, and not because we have such a talented band, which they are, but because those are the moments that draw our hearts and our affections to the Lord. And those markers just really set moments in our life of, God, what you did in my life in those seasons. Like we mentioned it in the video, but Trust in God, that was like our anthem at retreat this past year. If any of you guys were at retreat this past year, it was such a sweet time. Not only did we have so much fun, but we saw God do just some amazing things to that community in those moments of getting to go away, get literally off the grid, because some of y'all showed up and you're like, wait, there's no Wi-Fi, I have no service here, sorry about that. But it was such a sweet time to get to just unplug and be with Jesus and be with our community and have those sweet moments of worship. And if you didn't know, we are running it back with the social retreat this year. Can I get a woo-woo? There we go. We are running it back. We're going to New Life Ranch again, May 17th through the 19th. We're so excited for what God did last year, but also so expectant for what God will do again this year. We would love for you guys to join us. It's going to be the best time. We'll shoot you a little promo video so you can see a little bit about what's coming up.
What's up, social fam? Hey, my name is Brennan, and I am so pumped to get to be with you this year for your retreat. Hey, if you look for 2 reasons why you should be at the social retreat. Number 1, you have the best leaders and pastors in the entire world, so you know it's going to be a lot of fun. But number 2, I just think something special happens when we retreat, when we get away, and expect to meet with God in a special way. So I hope right now you're making plans to be with us for the retreat. If not, go ahead, get signed up, invite somebody, and we'll see you there.
It's crazy to think that we're only about 10 weeks away from that, which really, really is crazy. And that was Brendan Washington. He was right here. He was a pastor with C3 on our team some years ago. So actually, both these on the couch got to work with him while they were at C3. And now he's a church planner in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And it's just been cool to watch him from afar, to just what God has been up to with him and his almost 4 boys. So like, it's just amazing how the God's using him, and he will bring a word, let me tell you that. So like, we're looking forward, like that's really the next big thing after this, but actually something else to put on your calendar to kind of kick off a pre-party, if you will, to the social retreat on May 14th. That's the Tuesday before that right there, May 17th. So that Tuesday, we're actually moving the social. We will not be here on May 14th. We're going to be at the Record Downtown in downtown Bentonville, and just having a great night. We're going to have tacos, we'll have worship. It's going to be an amazing time. So make sure to mark your calendars for May 14th at the Record Downtown, celebrating all that God's doing, but also looking forward to an awesome retreat together. I'm telling you, you're going to want to sign up and be there. We love you guys. And speaking of party, we're about to go have some fun. So we have some cookies. We have free coffee. We have a pop-up, what was it, the lab that you can make it.
The merch lab.
Are working that. Go ahead, Ben.
We're working
the face of the social here in his haircut. But hey, we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Y'all enjoy. Have a great time. We'll see you.
Let's go.
See you out there.